ECOWAS resumes deliberations on Niger crisis in Abuja as Emir Sanusi meets with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the peace mission. Chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria, is currently presiding over an extraordinary summit of the regional body on the political situation in Niger Republic. The summit at the State House Conference Center in Abuja is discussing recent developments in Niger Republic and deciding on the next steps after the junta's removal of President Mohamed Bazoum. Following the last Economic Community of West African States Extraordinary Summit on July 30th in Abuja, sanctions were imposed on Niger, particularly on the coupists. The immediate release of President Bazoum, his family, and government members who are currently detained by the military was demanded. Reading out the sanctions at the end of that summit, President of the Economic Community of West African States Commission, Umar Toure, had said the following measures are to be applied with immediate effect. 1. Is the closure of land and air borders between ECOWAS, which is the Economic Community of West African State countries, and Niger. 2. Is the institution of ECOWAS no-fly zone on all commercial flights to and fro Niger. Suspensions of all commercial and financial transactions between the ECOWAS member states and Niger. Freeze all service transactions, including energy transactions. Freeze assets of the Republic of Niger in ECOWAS central banks. Also, freeze of the assets of Niger State rather, and the state enterprises and parastatals in commercial banks. Suspensions of measure from all financial assistance and transactions with all financial institutions, particularly EBID. Call on West African Monetary Union and all other regional bodies to implement this decision. The authority said that to impose travel ban and asset freeze for the military officials involved in the coup attempt. The same applies to their family members and the civilians who accept to participate in any institutions or government established by these military officials. Now, in an effort to de-escalate the crisis and avert any potential armed intervention, various stakeholders from Nigeria and Niger have been working together to advocate for a diplomatic approach and continued negotiations with both the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS and the military junta in Niger. One of the stakeholders, former Emir Sanusi, speaking to State House correspondents on Wednesday after his meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, said he went on the peace mission voluntarily, understanding his responsibility as a leader and a stakeholder. Sanusi emphasized that resolving the crisis requires efforts beyond just the government. I came to brief him on the details of my discussions with leaders of Niger. We'll continue to do our best to bring the two parties together to improve understanding. This is the time for public diplomacy. It is not a matter that we leave to government. All Nigerians and all Nigerians need to be involved to find a solution that works for Africa, a solution that works for Niger, that works for Nigeria, and a solution that works for humanity, he said. Asked if he was a government emissary on the mission, he said, "No, I was not sent by the government. Government officials were aware I was going, but it was my personal initiative. Using my personal contacts to get there, I will continue to do my best to this effect, for it is my duty as a leader to do that." Earlier today, however, the Nchiani-led junta announced a 21-member cabinet to be led by Ali Mohammed Liman Zain, who was appointed as Prime Minister by the military. Among the presidents and heads of government attending the meetings are President Julius Maada Bio of Sierra Leone, President Umaru Sissoco of Guinea, President Evariste of Burundi, and President Alassane of Cote d'Ivoire. Others are President Mohamed of Mauritania, President Nana of Ghana, President Macky of Senegal, and President Patrice Talon of Benin Republic. Those yet to arrive are from Togo and President Adama Barrow of the Gambia. ECOWAS resumes deliberations on Niger crisis in Abuja as Emir Sanusi meets with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the peace mission. Chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Nigeria,